quick stirs. Let's do it. Let's just have some coffee. Gosh, I've missed talking to you. First, I wanted to just say to you, if this video will not be edited, so if there's any interruptions or hiccups, or I go brain crowded vloggy for a few minutes, please understand. I wanted to thank you all. I just wanted to make this video about thanking everybody. You guys have been amazing. Support, the love. It's truly a strange time we live in right now, and there's a lot of different things going on in the world. But for me personally, I've been going through some stuff here, internally, externally, emotionally, and physically. So I've had so many of you reach out to me with your caring words, your love and support, and that your concern. So I wanted to jump on and vlog this morning. I am very tired still, so forgive me if I do a little rambling. I won't deny that there may be some rambling, but you all have just treated me, so amazingly, and it really does move me to tears, but I am not gonna cry. So I really just wanted to come on and say thank you. My future, like all of our futures, are so uncertain. You know, we can have a path, we can have a direction, but it could just take something like a mighty wind. And I use that, metaphorically speaking, a mighty wind to just push us off our path. And then sometimes it takes us a while to get back to it. Sometimes it, back on the path. Sometimes the path is just covered in leaves and we don't realize that we're still on it because we're disoriented, or we don't realize we have been relocated, or we haven't been relocated either. So I just wanted to tell everybody that I am so grateful for all of you, and I'm so hopeful for the good things to come. I think that I think that you can probably see the hope for the future of crafting by the way that I purchase crafting materials. I know I have always really overbought, because I'm like, I don't know, my dad always made me feel like always be prepared for everything. So sometimes I sit and, like, if I have an idea for a craft, I'll bring like the 20 different components that I think I might need, and usually end up using like maybe just 8 or 10. So I know that I, could use those 10 other things for something else, but the preparedness for it, that's ingrained in me, I think. So I wanted to update everybody on my eye shots. I didn't move this time, so no blood, which was great. I was prepared. The doctor was like, yeah, you just don't know what you're in for. And I was like, well, that, and I didn't have anything to focus on. I was like, if you ever have this opportunity comes to you and you need to get shots, basically what happened was, and I realized this, I think I might have mentioned this previously, but what I realized was, if without something to focus your attention on, when someone pulls on your eye, you're like going to focus your attention there, but you don't have anything to concentrate your attention on. I said when he gave me my second shot the first time that I was able to focus my vision on his thumb, and I didn't move my vision, and that was really important. So the second time I had the actual doctor. The first time was a fellow. I mean, he's a doctor, but I had the doctor who is my doctor. the doctor, the practicing doctor. I had him the second time. The first time was the fellow. And I was explaining to the doctor that the first time, he's like, yeah, you just don't know what's coming. And I was like, no, it's not. Yes, that's part of it for sure. But I realized that you need something to focus your eyes on so that you won't, what's the word? not subconsciously, but gosh, it's like, oh my goodness, I can't think. It's not subconsciously, it's like when you're, oh gosh, like reflex. That's it. It's like a it's like a, oh, it's not in, more coffee. Maybe I'll remember the word. It is a reflex. I'm trying to think of the word that means like primordial, but it's not primordial. Anyway, it's a natural reflex. It's a natural instinct to, like, if your attention's not on something else, your attention will be drawn to whatever's getting your attention. So I just told him, and then like this time he actually started with this eye. So I got my sunglasses and I focused. I was like, go ahead, Doc. And then he did that. And then the second eye, I put them over here and I was like, wait, hold on a second. I can't, you know, his hand was in my way and I'd like, where do you want my eye and stuff? And he was like, that's perfect. Okay, focus on those sunglasses. And I was like, yeah. And otherwise it was, I mean, then that was made it perfect. And I'm not, he goes, you did perfectly, or his words. But he also said, I can't lift anything or do housework for 40 years. So I take everything he says with a grain of salt. The funny thing is he actually repeated that this time. So I don't know if he's just like, doesn't have any other cheesy dad jokes, or if there is something to my not being able to do certain things. I do know that like the first 24 hours at least, you can't really bend over because you actually have like a puncture in your eyeball. So, and this time it was really weird because I could see the needle hole. And like it looked like it presented itself like a black floater, but then just went away right away. So I was like, oh, that's so weird. It's just like, do you ever have a floater? If you guys never had them, they were kind of like, what is that? Oh, I kept thinking like a gnat was in the way, and I was like, what is this? Excuse me. I took my morning meds, and I think that my cinnamon is sitting sideways in my esophagus, so I keep drinking coffee. Actually, the cinnamon, I've mentioned this before, I take 1,000 milligrams a day. Usually I take 500 in the morning and 500 at night, because when I take the 1,000 tablet, it gives me such indigestion. Not such indigestion, I shouldn't say that. I'm just burping cinnamon for a while. And it's not the worst thing to burp. It's not like burping fish oil. But it does sometimes like, oof. Yeah. So excuse me. I'm just trying to melt it with the hot coffee. So anyhow, I really just wanted to make this a catch up on how is it going. I've been going through a lot of stuff personally with my family. I'm really trying to focus on changing my eating habits entirely. I'm actually focusing a lot on relearning. My body's changed, and something that I think you guys probably know, that I could always eat like corn chips, like, but now I'm having to relearn if that's still true. So I'm having to do like these mass experiments of eating plans and sticking to Jim's new, not sticking to, but testing out Jim's new eating plans and being in it with him. And the food is so delicious. It's so funny because I will tell you something. Amongst other things, we were talking about, like, he kind of felt like I wasn't going to be very supportive of this. He kind of had come to me like a little haphazard with it, and it was confusing the way he was presenting it to me that he wanted to try it. And I was like, he kept giving me like information, then I would question the information. He'd go back and he'd go, no, not that original information, but this information. So I was like, hon, can you just like go learn it and then teach it to me? I actually said master it, and that wasn't the right word to use, but I was like, just go go master it, and then you could teach it to me. Because what you're doing is like, and I've apologized since, because I was like, I should have said we'll learn it together. But there was just a whole lot of stuff happening then, like in my life at the moment he got this book. So I apologized and we worked that out and everything. But honestly, my family's eating vegetables and my family's eating healthy. And for like the whole time that we've lived in the same house together, I'm over there eating my quinoa salad and the two of them are having macaroni and cheese. So it's kind of weird to think like, you didn't think I'd be on board with this? Okay. And I'll just let you, you know, it's your idea. You found it, whatever works, whatever I could do to get vegetables into my husband's life. Even mom's having cabbage salad. She is having grilled onions. Not many, because they repeat on her, and that's okay. But no, she's having things like she's eating food that she just used to refuse to try, which I'm so happy about. Like, and then liking a lot of it, which is funny. Not funny, but it's amazing. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I am just over the moon with it. So I said to him, I'm like, I am curious, like we talked yesterday. I said, I'm curious about what in our past relationships or our past history would make you think that I was going to be so, what is negative, the word that I used? That I guess, I might have used the word negative, but that me questioning one thing made you automatically switch to I was against it, or that I wasn't supportive. And honestly, I was like, well, because that is a bad thing to happen, you know, when you're in communicating. And one of the things he came to me when I came home was, or actually he came to Texas and said, you know, I have been really looking at our communication, and I really think he was saying he had to do a better job at communicating, which was unusual. Normally when Jim communicates with me about any communication issues we have, it's usually that he uses the we word. Like, I guess, and it's not a bad thing, it's just the way it is, I guess. I don't know, bad thing, but I don't mean it like a bad thing, let's put it that way. Is that Jim, not very rarely, but it's not his default to take responsibility. Let's put it that way. And I've grown to know that, and I've grown to, you know, it's okay, you know, like kind of thing. When I'll advocate for something, and I'll advocate, and I'll advocate, and I'll advocate, and then he'll be like, well, I'll advocate for it, and that's what it is. So if I advocate for something, I advocate for something, and then he won't do it. Like eating vegetables. Honey, you really need to eat more vegetables. You really need to, like, your colon is gonna love you if you just have 2 more pieces of broccoli. You know, what do you want me to do? Would you like me to cook them differently next time or whatever? And he's like, he won't do it. Then he'll come to me later and he'll say, well, we have to start eating more vegetables. And I was like, I love you, but 70% of my plate is vegetables every day. The rest is protein. Or 60% of my plate is vegetables, 10% is carbohydrates, and the rest is protein. Because at that point, I used to be able to have corn, or like if I have brown rice or quinoa. So whatever those things, like, I may have to go keto for a while to get my, excuse me, I'm going to tuck. And I won't blow, I'll just wipe. I may have to go keto to get my numbers into check. But for now, it's like, you know, like I'm not kidding. We used to make, like, for example, a 12-ounce microwave bag of broccoli. Say we were just on a frozen vegetable, like, because we use the fresh vegetables at first. We shop like once a month or once every other week. So they go quickly, and then we go into the frozen vegetables. So say we're a 12-ounce bag of frozen broccoli. Mom used to have her floret. She would pick like the smallest floret with the least amount of stem and put as much butter on it as broccoli. And that's okay. Have a piece of broccoli, whatever it is. I can encourage, and that's all I can do. I can ask, do you want me to cook it differently? Whatever. That's fine. Jim would have like 3 pieces of broccoli, like 3 florets. A little bit bigger than Mom's florets, but that was it. And then I would encourage him. So I would take my portion, and I always leave some in the bowl, and always double check with him before I finish them. Do you want any more? Can I get you to eat some more? I see you have a little bit of sauce. Do you want to dip some broccoli in it? Whatever the particular meal calls for. So I really would just encourage him, you know, and then he'd say stuff like, we need to eat more broccoli. We need to eat more vegetables. And I'm just 100% behind him. Yeah, we do. We really do. It's a great idea. I'm on board. What do you got planned? Do you have anything in mind? Or whatever. But that's what I meant. Like, so he really takes personal responsibility for stuff like that. Not digging on him. It's just his nature. And I'm used to it. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, when he came to me and he said, I have got to start communicating better, I was like on the verge of tears, really, because I was so moved by the fact that he, in that sentence, recognized that I have been trying. I have been communicating with him, and I've been trying to get him to communicate with me for years, like decades. We built our relationship on communication. So when it like died or slowed down or fell to the wayside, it really crushed me a little bit, you know? I guess it's like, I don't know. I don't really even know how to say it. It's just like, if you're, I don't want to say it's about physical appearance because that's like so superficial. If you based, I guess it would kind of be like if you based your, not based your relationship, but a major focus of your relationship was that you both had the same spiritual direction, and then one of you went into a different spiritual direction. You still love the person and you still care and you're compassionate, or vice versa, whichever direction, whatever. You like try to learn, you try to be there, you try to be present, but you kind of lose that thing that connected you in the beginning. And that's how it's like for communication with us. When I felt like we just weren't communicating the way we used to, and then I was like, all right, we're not communicating healthily, and then it became like we're not communicating at all. I'm trying and I'm trying and I'm talking on like deaf ears. And it's okay. I mean, it happens. I've been talking to some like virtual therapists about it, like you know, it's natural, like we're married 20 years, we're together 21. It's natural, like it's just, sometimes it happens, and sometimes it happens at year 3 and sometimes it happens at year 15. Like it just could happen, where a lot of times one of the or both of the people are trying to like learn each other. So we're I'm just wanted to tell you that we're amazing, whatever. Excuse me. Sorry. I got a tickle. I post-nasal. Like I said, I'm trying not to edit, so I don't want to make that gross noise. Not that burping isn't gross. But anyway, we're trying. I mean, we're great. Oh, I forgot where I was going. I'm sorry. Oh, whatever journey he took, his personal journey he took while I was away, it's just been amazing for us. We have connected again. We're like on the same page. We're having all of these emotional, like, I say come to Jesus moments, but we are just like, we're coming together. It's amazing. I will tell you, like, I am amazed. I'm amazed by it. I am so happy. He makes me so happy, and he really has. And that's why it's okay. Like, whatever was going on was okay, because overall, he just makes me happy. He like completes my soul. And it's so, I mean, there's gotta be a reason we're married for 20 years, right? Because, you know, we've had, just like I guess every marriage has had its ups and downs, whether it is hardships or births or deaths or whatever you guys have gone through in your marriages or your relationships. You'll see that it's like it comes and goes and ebbs and flows, and it's like a little bit of a roller coaster. And I posted a memory on Facebook, and I said, you know, our lives have been roller coasters, and there's nobody I'd rather be sitting in the roller coaster with. Like, you know, I love a roller coaster analogy because we both go up together, we both go down together. And then when we turn right, we both lean to the left. And we turn left, we both lean to the right. So in a roller coaster, if you ever watch a video, everybody's in sync, you know? So I love that analogy because, you know, no matter what it is, you know that the person's with you. So, and I hope that Jim feels that way about me. He has said he does, but I just really hope that he feels it in his heart of how much I love him. So I think that might be it for this morning. I wanted to thank everybody again. I know I thanked everybody in the beginning, but thank you again for your continued love and support through everything that we're going through. There is other stuff that when we're through it, I might share, just to help with like experience. Let me get through it, and then I will share you how I got through it. You know, sometimes it's great to work stuff out on the channel, the vlog channel or the main channel. Sometimes it's really great to work out the problems. I get such great advice from so many of you. It's just amazing. But sometimes it's like I have to work it out before I bring it to you. Sometimes I have to become a master before I can teach. So that's what I'm doing now. So if you guys have any questions at all, you know what to do, and the sharing and the liking. And as always, you guys take care. God bless. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Pew.